Lupus cannot be cured, guys. And I was laughing the other day when on the news they were saying that they're looking for the cure for lupus. I actually laughed myself because you cannot cure lupus, because lupus is not something that is curable. It's your own body attacking yourself. So you need to find a way of balancing yourself. I'll explain to you what actually happens when you actually have lupus and your immune system goes haywire. Imagine you had an assembly line of cars and you were making cars, and all the cars were lined up and they were moving slowly, and each time they move, the worker puts in a part of the car. Now speed up that process where all the cars are moving very fast, and now as the worker is trying to put all those parts in that are supposed to go into the car, he doesn't have enough time for that. So some of the cars he doesn't put them in, and in some of the cars he puts them in. So at the end of the day, you get cars that have all the parts and cars that don't have all the parts. So that's what happens with your immune system. When you get stressed, and lupus is caused by stress, when your body is overworked, you understand? When you get stressed, your bone marrow creates the immune system, kind of like rushes the whole process, as I've explained with the assembly line. So now some of those cells don't have all the functions, so some of them are retarded. And so when you get stressed, now these cells don't know what is right and what is wrong, so they begin to attack certain parts of your body, you understand? So basically, lupus is your immune system losing its actual function. That is what lupus is. And how to get that to its original self is a very simple process, and it cannot be cured with medicine or anything like that. You need to find a balance within yourself so that your body slows down. All the meds you take only prevent the symptoms from happening, but you can take that medicine for years and years and you still will have lupus. But my doctor, Dr. Gordon, I was also diagnosed with lupus a couple of years ago, and thank God I beat lupus because I followed the same principles. Do not think that I'm crazy, because when I got lupus, I went through the whole study. What is lupus? I asked myself all those things, and I'm 2 years into remission now. But as I was saying, all the medication that you're taking is only going to prevent the symptoms. But the whole idea is to understand what's happening. What is lupus? Lupus is a retardation of your white blood corpuscles, and that means that your white blood corpuscles do not know when to stop fighting the disease, so they end up fighting your body, the organs, your brain, and all that stuff. So now the whole idea is these cells are retarded. How do you get them to be non-retarded? And how do they get retarded? I explained to you earlier on is that it's when you are stressed, your body produces so much white blood corpuscles, or your white soldiers. They produce them so much in such a speed that it doesn't complete the process in some of them, so they get retarded. You understand? So now how do you change that whole thing? The whole thing is to balance your body, to bring back your body to a state where it can produce these cells slowly and in completing their process. Lupus is a very simple illness. It's a dis-ease, not a disease. The word dis-ease, you break it up, it means that your body is not at ease. When your body is not at ease, it means that it's overworking. It's not at its normal state. So as I was saying earlier on, to beat lupus, you have to understand certain things. You have to bring yourself into a point where you have peace of mind. When you have peace of mind, your body begins to slow down. And when it slows down, it begins now to produce the proper white blood corpuscles. You understand? When I was diagnosed with lupus, I was like, oh my gosh, how could God give me such a dreadful disease? I mean, it's incurable. Then something clicked in my head. It's incurable. Wow. That means that I must be blessed to be one of the first people to find out the cure for it. And so that inspired me, and I was like, yeah, this can be done, because I studied a bit about lupus. I tried to look around, I tried to think about it, because there was no reference for me to really work around. That's when I realized that no, man, this thing is a very simple thing. It's an autoimmune disease, which means that your white blood corpuscles have lost their original knowledge. And how do they lose that knowledge? And that's how I found out about this whole idea of lupus and how it can be beaten. And in the previous video, or in the edition, I was saying that lupus can be beaten by having a peace of mind. And by getting a peace of mind, you need to understand how the body works, you understand? And also you must understand that you're not just a body only, you're a spirit. And that is the next thing we'll talk about, how the body and the spirit function. And that's how you can actually beat lupus, because it's the spirit that controls the body. Remember, your body is out of control and is producing white blood corpuscles that have lost their basic knowledge. So now you must understand that body does not exist only by itself, but it has the spirit. So with the spirit, you start setting up goals that, hey, listen, for me, what I did was that as my medication reduced, I began to realize, no, I'm getting better, I'm getting out of the woods. So with that intention of beating lupus and having a goal, don't just rely on what the doctors are saying. If you rely on what the doctors are saying, you ain't going to beat lupus. Lupus can be beaten if you have goals, because as you make those goals, you're making your body come to its own balance, where it is a state of peace. Then the white blood corpuscles that are produced from in your bone marrow, they're produced in a proper way, and they have their proper functions. I'm 3 years going. I beat lupus, and thanks to Dr. Gordon, he's retired now. He told me one thing, that it only takes 3 years to beat lupus. And obviously, if you take more medication, it begins to deteriorate and affect your livers and your body and all that stuff. So give yourself a goal. Give yourself a year and tell yourself, no, you're going to beat lupus. And practice things like meditation. For me, what really worked well was love. Love, the Bible says, love conquers all things. And with me having love, I blessed everything all around me. I was happy. I did the things that I love, and that's what actually made me reach that balance where my body began to be at peace. I didn't stress about anything and all this stuff, because stress is a trigger. And once you stop stressing, your body begins to have balance, and eventually your body gets used to that state, you understand? So things like worship, prayer, and all that stuff, they actually work. And peace of mind, that's the most important thing. So if you have peace of mind and you have a goal and you can measure yourself that you're beating lupus, then I believe you can get out of the woods and you become one of the few that have beaten lupus, because it's only one of the few that have beaten lupus. Many people don't believe that it begins here with the state of mind. They believe it's the medication, and obviously the doctors will keep on giving you medication. It's up to you to beat that dis-ease. I call it dis-ease because your body is not at ease. Get yourself at ease, peace of mind, and you will see what I'm saying. Test what I'm saying and see for yourself. I'm 2 years out of lupus. I beat lupus myself. I'm telling my own story.